Okay, welcome guys to this ZenStream, and in this ZenStream we're going to cover a very little quick topic, and that's creating zoom backgrounds. So first prerequisite is you have a green screen or a blue screen behind you, some way to key out like I am here. Okay, so if you haven't got that and you're relying on the sort of virtual cutouts that do it with a real background, then just be aware that you might get a bit of popping. So if you're using just a normal background, then you might get this kind of popping effect going on. So that is a problem, and it's probably best that you don't use this technique if you haven't got a nice green screen behind you or some way to key yourself out really nicely without this kind of popping around your head, because it's annoying, it looks unprofessional. It's better that you just have a normal clean office. Okay, so unclutter, make sure that you haven't got any distractions in the background, and then you'll be fine. But if you want to use these techniques where you can overlay yourself on different backgrounds, then green screen is perfect for that, because it cuts you out really cleanly and professionally. And for all you guys that say, yeah, but my virtual cutouts inside my cameras are really good and I don't get any of that, look, all I need to tell you is in the film industry they use green screens to cut people out, and they do it for a reason. It's professional. Okay, so I know Amit's come along sometimes and said, oh, you know, you can use this, it gives you a really good effect, but I promise you, you notice it. I can spot it every single time when someone's not using a green screen. Okay, so bear that in mind before we continue. So I'm going to show you my green screen now, and then you're going to sort of see the difference. So 2 seconds, let me just turn off the chroma key, and there you go. So this is my green screen here that you can see, and if I bring my green screen down, which is just a pull-up green screen, then you're going to see my office behind. And I could probably get away with that if I cleaned a few things up, but it's pretty clean, and I could probably do a presentation like this. However, I got things like light in the background, it's a bit distracting. You know, maybe I could pull the blinds down, it'll look a bit better. But if I want to create a really cool effect, any background behind me, what I need to do is I need to use a green screen to key myself out like this. So with that said and done, and you've got everything set up and you're nicely neutrally lit, it means not too dark on one side, not too light on the other, those kind of things, and your green screen's got a nice color behind it, so it'll key you out nicely, we can move into producing the actual thing itself. So to do this, we're going to use a free version of Canva, and we're going to create the background, and then I'm going to show you in Zoom, because that's the one you guys are all using, to how to cut yourself out. Now this doesn't just apply to Zoom, this is like if you're using OBS or using any kind of streaming software, it's probably got the ability to add green screen in there and to cut yourself out and to put virtual backgrounds. So it doesn't just apply to Zoom, all right? So that's one big pointer before we continue. Now one thing we need to bear in mind is that when we're recording for our videos, we're doing it in HD format. Okay, so if you are doing it for mobile or something and it's flipped the other way around like this, then you're going to have to make sure your size is the same for that. So whatever your camera is producing out, okay, then that's the size that you should be working to. And I always choose HD, high HD, which is 1920 by 1080. For you guys that have seen a lot of my videos, you're probably fed up with me saying that number, but it's so important because I want it to click in. 1920 is this universal size that will fit for HD, high HD, and everywhere in between. It scales nicely, and that is what you'll be using to produce most of your videos, I think. So you want to make sure your camera is capable of HD, high HD, 1920, 1080 or higher. Okay, and then you want to make sure that you are using that to size. So I'm going to jump into a free Canva account, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create design. So I'm going to go down here. This is a really quick workshop, guys. We're not going to be here for long, so don't worry. We got this size here, 1920 by 1080. It's my recent sizes. You'll notice that I've got the mobile version here, 1080 by 1920, 1080, 1920, and then I've got the HD version 1920 by height of 1080. Okay, so width is always first and then height is the second number. Okay, so inside here I'm going to type it in so you guys can follow along and do your lovely Zoom videos. Now guys, if you're watching this and you do it, take a little screenshot and put it in the post. Show how you've got yourself in the background if you follow along with what we're doing here. So once you've got this 1920 by 1080, we're going to hit create design and we're going to go and create a design. Now this could be similar to your course. So if you've got a course, you'll notice we do this at Zenler all the time. If we've got a course, we'll kind of mirror that kind of blue effect or whatever we're using for the main course colors, and we'll put that into our Zoom backgrounds. This is what we do. Or we'll use an office environment, but we'll pick hints or accents of that color from the course. All right, so this is why we do this. So I'm going to choose something really groovy here. Now you can use video as well, by the way, for this, but we're not going to. We're just going to choose something cool. Now we want to make sure that inside here that we have room for where we are. Okay, so in the videos we generally are in the middle, like here. You can see I'm slightly on the right hand side, okay, but generally we're kind of in the middle. So you notice I put all this graphics on the left, and I know I'm not going to interfere with it because I don't want to be doing this, you know, and I don't want to be going out of shot. I don't want to be doing this and covering what the wording is. So this is something to make sure that you bear in mind as well. All right, with any kind of overlaid graphics, you don't want to get in the way of things. You know, it's like me here. I don't want to make sure that I'm writing where you can't see where the buttons I'm pressing are, because that would be a problem. All right, so I'm going to go in here. We're just going to do something really simple, and I'm going to pick something like I don't know, guys, put in the chat if you want me to do something in particular. I'm going to put gaseous. So it's going to give me a kind of gaseous. Oh look, that's nice. That's a pro though. I want to be picking a free image of some kind. Oh, that's a gas. Oh, that's gaseous, isn't it? That's pro. You see these little king icons, these, and it says pro. It means you can only use the pro, so you can't use the free, and we're using the free for this particular demo. So quite hard to find something that's not free nowadays. They tend to whack them up the top a lot, and funny enough, they've actually changed it in here. You used to be able to pick the option of free. Maybe they figured people were just using it too much. So even under free, it's not coming up with anything. Right, let's just pick something that's going to be in there. So you can also use, you can go to Pixabay, which gives you lots of good images as well. Let's choose something like this. This might be nice. Okay, because what I'll do is I'll put her here. So I'm bearing in mind where I'm going to be, which is going to be a here. I don't mind if I'm going over the flag. I'm going to choose this like this. So I'm kind of going over that flag. And then for the background color, I'm going to select this background. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go into the colors and I'm going to pick this color. Boom. Now I've got the same color, although it's slightly different. That might be good anyway. So I've got her out of the way. That. And I've got this color. So you get the idea. Actually, let's choose something else. Like that. Try cutouts. Again, Pro. Alright, I think I'm going to stick with this. Oh, that might be nice. Okay. So just on the wall. So I'm going to right hand click this and put replace background. So I'm going to be in that middle area there. So now I'm going to put This is where you can just have fun with it. You can put whatever you like in here. So I'm going to put in here, choose something like this. Something like that. Take it, reduce it down. So we're just having a bit of fun. Putting in a corner. Then I'll choose something like this. So we're pretending it's a kind of offer thing going on. Okay, I'm going to right align that. Change this spacing. Suit. Okay, that's quite good. Bring it down a little bit. Just going to ungroup this so I can move this independently. So I'm getting carried away now. I don't need to get carried away. Okay, the main thing is here is that we have this stuff corner there. Okay. Make sure you upload your logo if you've got it in here. Make sure everything's branded. Put that in the corner there, something like that. Looks nice. Alright, and I've created a background. Now what you can do is you can duplicate it. So if you've got a kind of theme and you want to change things around, you can use the same thing. And then maybe I'll just look for something, microphone or under photos. Drop it in there, right hand click, place, change the text color to a white. You can build it up. So I've still got a lot of space for me to be in the middle, but it looks really cool. So I've got two backgrounds there I created really quickly. We've got them at 1920 by 1080. So now I'm just going to output these. So I'm going to go to share, I'm going to go download. I'm not going to select PNG, I'm just going to select JPEG. Okay, so I say this all the time. If you have PNG, it's a bigger file than JPEG usually. Okay, it's because PNG files carry an alpha channel. It's an extra channel of information. PNGs are often used for cutouts, so transparent backgrounds. So that transparency is an alpha channel and it cuts out. So with a JPEG, it only contains the three cat channels like red, green and blue. Okay, and that makes up your image. So a JPEG is smaller in file size than RGBA, which is alpha for PNG files. So it's worth you exporting out with JPEG because they would generally be smaller. And obviously that means faster load time when you start putting images on your website. Okay, so bear that in mind. You can also use a quality compression, and I find a quality compression of about 65 to 75, 80 is about the perfect size to compress. Compressing files means it will lose a certain amount of data, but it's negligible and you won't pick it up with your eyes. Okay, if you reduce it right down to 20, well, it'll be a really small file size, but it will be really grainy, the image. Okay, and it will look blurry. So keeping that consistent between a larger file size at 100% and something that is 100% is 100% compression, so it's higher, so it's less quality, but keeping that balance between high quality and the low quality and that file size, depending on which way you go, is going to make a big difference to pages when you start putting multiple images on pages. So we're going off topic a little bit now, but if you have a ton of thumbnails on your website and you are loading in images that are HD size, then it's going to be a really heavy page. It means it's going to take a long time to load, because if we said that each image is 1 megabyte and you had 20 images, it's 20 megabytes to load that image up on the page, which take a long time on a slow connection. Whereas if you reduced it down to sort of 1/8 of that time, 1/8 of that size, then it's going to be 1/8 of the load time. So it's going to be much quicker. So bear that in mind when you're creating content, especially thumbnails for your web pages. Don't use huge images. Try to get them to roughly the right size and then upload them, and your page speed will be significantly quicker. Okay, so off topic a little bit there, but once I'm on JPEG, I'm just going to click download. Now I have got no options in here with the free Canva account. It gives me what it gives me, and to be honest, it is good enough. Okay, so we can see we've got 2 pages here. I'll download both of them, but if you want to download a single page, you can click all pages here, turn this off, and you can just click there and it will download each of those images. If you choose both, it will zip them up into a zip file. Okay, so you'll notice also the names of the files are called page 1, page 2. Let me just tell you how to change that. Inside of here, we can put this in there, design 1. And now the file names will be called what you've called them in here. This is something people forget to do, and then they have a list of images, especially if they've got like 20 or 30 Canva designs they're exporting in one go. It's called 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't know what they are. So if you label them clearly in here, you know exactly what they are. So if we go now and we go to download and we choose the JPEG type and we go here, you're going to see that they're called design 1, design 2. So I'm going to download both of these and show you both of these inside Zoom. Let's click done and download. And now it will download these files into your download folder, which you can always find if you lose it by going in here and going to downloads. All right, or click here and then just click the little folder icon. This will then open them up into here, and let me just show you. So this is my downloads folder, and then I can extract these. So I can extract all. I'm going to extract them to the same place, and now you're going to see that under here we have these lovely designs that we can put into for our Zoom background. So I'm going to drop those on my desktop and I'm going to close this down. And now we can jump into Zoom. So hopefully so far that's the creation of our Zoom backgrounds, and you've got all that control to change things. Now we're going to move into Zoom and I'm going to show you how to put them in Zoom and how to check them. Okay, so I'm going to do that in a second. I'm just going to check the chat if anything's going on in here. No, Facebook's good and YouTube's good. Maybe it's a bit early and it was only put up a little while ago. I wanted to do a kind of impromptu. All right, now we've got those on our desktop. We're now going to open Zoom up. So hopefully you've got Zoom app installed on your system. I'm going to open my Zoom session and screen share. So here we have Zoom. So I'm going to be switching to a different camera. You can still see me in here, hello, but it's going to show you in a different camera. So I'm in my Zoom account. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to go down to settings. Okay. So when settings opens, you're going to get this. I'll just get rid of this for now so it's all crystal clear. And under video, you're going to be choosing your video. Now I switched to my Brio camera. Lighting's a little bit weird on here. I've got just for low light on here. It's jumping around a little bit, but it's fine. And I've got retouch my appearance a bit high. Okay, but you can see I've got a lovely green screen behind me, and you know, like I told you, that's the green screen. This is through the video camera. Okay, so it's a second camera, that's why I'm able to do this. Obviously your audio, you'll be picking your mic and all those things, but now I'm going to go down to backgrounds and effects. So you'll notice background effects, I've got none. You're going to see I've got loads of different images in here already. You'll be familiar with that one. Okay, that's the one we use quite a lot. That's my surfboard one, but we want to load in those new ones. So all we're going to do is click the little plus button. Now when I click this, you're going to see add image or add video. Yes, you can add video. If your video is HD, you could add the video in there. Try and keep it very small video, like a looping background. Don't do like a whole big long video, because it could take a long time to load. It could cause issues with streaming. So you want to make sure it's a very small video that kind of loops so that it gives an effect of animation. Try not to do it too much. It's a little bit overkill. I don't know if I've got any in here with a video. I'm not sure I have. No, I haven't, so I can't demo it to you, but it will just play the video. You can test it. Okay, so let's load our image in. So we're going to go in here, we're going to click image. I know my image is on my desktop, so down here somewhere, here it is. Click that and I'm going to click open. Bang, there I am. So now I'm going to click add image, and we're going to add the other one, and bang, there we are, and looks very, very cool. So pretty easy to set this stuff up and can give you a really good effect, you know. So hopefully you find that is really quite good. I can start this. Let me just start the general meeting, just as a test. Okay, let me close that so it's nice and big for you guys to see in the screen. And got a little bit of, I think it's because I'm using two things, but there you go, it gives me a really good green screen there. And that's how you do it. So it's as simple as that. So hopefully that has been of interest to you guys, and that is creating Zoom backgrounds using Canva and then putting them into your Zoom sessions so you can do effects such as this. All right, and that is another ZenStream from us at Zenler.